Hi guys, this is the advisor and welcome back to my channel. Now I wanted to take a look at these two images, right? These two images are of Times Square in New York. Now, Times Square, everybody in the world might have heard of Times Square. It is so famous. It is one of those places where you see, for example, all the major shops, all the sophistication of the city, and it is where they drop the New Year's ball every year that comes down when they count down to zero and the new year begins and the fireworks go up and all of that. Yes, that Times Square. Now, these two pictures are of Piccadilly Circus in London. Now, Piccadilly Circus is just as sophisticated. It's a place where you have all the major shops, all the major brands, where everything meets. And, it is, if you look at a lot of postcards, Times Square is just used to display everything. The latest movies, the latest fashion, the latest sophisticated technologies, and so on and so forth. It's just the place to be, Times Square and Piccadilly Circus. Now, these specific geographical locations displays cleanliness, neatness, order, and sophistication. Not only that, but they encapsulate all the sense of hope and pride and joy that these people feel about their country. Now, do we here in Jamaica have a geographical location in our city where we can feel the same sense of pride as those in the US and UK? Well, I would say reservedly yes. And that should be halfway tree. And I said reservedly because it is, but it isn't. You see, our little version of Times Square, our little version of Piccadilly Circus, is just a facade, because within 20 feet of the halfway tree clock, and as you know, the clock is the very center of our own little version of Piccadilly Circus. At the very center, near the clock, within 20 feet, lies the most rudimentary, rundown, slum-like piece of squalor that is found in the city of Kingston. And it has been permanently there for at least 20 years. To give you an idea of what I'm talking about, I'm going to give you a little video to look at. I did this video on Friday the 12th of April. Please bear with me and just take a look at the video and I'm going to tell you what I'm talking about. The video starts at JN Bank, right across from the transport center, and continues around Mandela Park. Now look at Mandela Park, right? Look outside of it as we go along and tell me what this looks like. But continue, just look, because where the video ends is where you're going to see the disgrace round by the clock. This is supposed to be the town center. And bear in mind, you see halfway tree is really the nation's capital. They say it's Kingston, but let us be in very practical terms. Kingston and St. Andrew is actually the capital. Because it's just one place. That is the reason why they have the KSAMC, because Kingston and St. Andrew is merged into one. It may have two different names, but it's merged into one. So St. Andrew is also part of the capital city. And most people call St. Andrew Kingston. Anyway, the built up part. Because when we in Halfway Tree, we say Kingston. When we at Concert Spring, we say we are Kingston. During the park, we are Kingston. So let us not get the thing twisted. The capital, Halfway Tree, is, as far as I'm concerned, the capital of Jamaica. And then again, while we have Kingston 17, Kingston 20, Kingston 6, Kingston 8, Kingston 10, which are not in Kingston. They're not Kingston, And yet them call them have Kingston zones. So you see, Kingston and St. Andrew is really one. So really 13 parish we have. And Kingston and St. Andrew, as I said, is governed by the same parish council. Therefore, the real capital of Jamaica is really Halfway Tree. Therefore, Halfway Tree is supposed to look the endeavor best among. But look at our capital. Look at it. Look the yaga yaga. You don't ever see a more ghettoized capital city? You think this could have happened in any city, anywhere on earth? I doubt if Haiti even look like this. But you don't see nothing yet. Let me go around the edge of the corner there so I want to see something else. Come on, man, walk with me. We are walk and we are look. We're going to see some things. Where everybody see every day and nobody seems to care. Where is our sense of national pride? I don't know. If you don't think the front of them little stall did look bad, look at the back. Look at the back. Old barrel, old bag, old pan, old crate, old cylinder, and knock up board table, and every other piece of thing they can find in the backyard. They put it behind the stall, which is them backyard. Look at that. The question therefore is, how did we get here? How did we reach to this? And how has it remained like this for more than 20 years? To do that, I'm going to take you back. I want you guys to take a look at this photograph. Look at this picture. Yeah, take a look at this picture. This picture was taken in 1993. This is a picture. I took it in Halfway Tree. I was standing next to the clock. The clock was on my left, and I took this picture of the fountain in Halfway Tree. Now, how did this become this? This is a still from the video I was just showing you. And even though it's not clear because there are so many people in the background, but it is clear to see that is a far cry from the sophisticated water fountain that we had there in the past. Now, for us to understand what's happening here, we need to know, when did this fountain go there? Well, the construction of this fountain began in 1982 under the leadership of Ryan Peralta, who was the then who was the then mayor of Kingston. But it wasn't completed under Ryan Peralta, however, because he only stayed there from 81 to 82. It was completed by the mayor who succeeded him, Colleen Yap, who was the wife of Freddie Yap. She completed it. She brought in some men, I think it was from Amsterdam, but I think it was from either Belgium or the Netherlands, and she spent a lot of money. The council spent a lot of money to have people come in from overseas and set up the park, set up the fountain. It even had lights underneath it at nights which turned on, different colored lights, and the fountain actually had a rhythm, and where sometimes it go high, sometimes it go low, and the water would dance. And even if there's a heavy breeze, sometimes sprays of water would spray on people who are passing by, depends on whether the wind is there. So it was a place you could hang out with at Sunday nights, and so on and so forth. Absolutely stunningly beautiful in treasure, because it shows what Halfway Tree used to look like in the past. Look at the picture, you can see clear up to JN. So then, how did it reach where it is today to look like this? The rot started when Mary Atkins took over the KSAC, as it was then called, in 1989. Somewhere around 1992, 1993, somehow the the fountain started to malfunction. They got people, local people, to come in to try to rectify it, but it could not be rectified. They couldn't get it to work. So they simply, it was simply left empty and dry and started gathering dirt. And Mary Atkins was told that what she should do is to get the same people from Amsterdam or wherever it was overseas to come in and sort it out and get the fountain back up running. And Mary Atkins decided that no, she would not do that. She said it's not worth it. It's just a fountain. It can't eat. It can't build country. It is people want food. People can't spend money on water, go up in a ear, and so on. I don't remember her exact words, but I read it in the paper that she said the money could have been better spent. And therefore, it was neglected for quite a number of years. But let us bear in mind that Mary Atkins was the longest serving mayor in the history of the KSAMC. She served for the better part of 14 years. And I mean, she did that in one long stretch. Eventually, when it started to gather all kind of rubbish and people start using it at a rubbish tip, what she did, she ordered that it be dumped up. And they come and they dumped it up. And planted flowers in it at the time. But after they planted the flowers, after a few months, they just neglected the flowers and they fenced it round, and it has been like that ever since. Now, personally to me, it is a shame when a leader of a country, of a nation, who feels that putting national pride means nothing. That national pride means nothing. It's all about what you can put in your belly. And fixing a place to give the country a sense of pride, of great pride, had no value, or had very little value as far as she is concerned. She felt that to bring in experts from overseas to come and sort out the fountain, to give this country a great sense of pride, was not worth it. Okay, but let's leave the fountain for a moment. And let's go back to the stalls. How did the stalls get there? And how did it become so, how did it turn into a slum? A slum right under the clock in the middle of our little Piccadilly circus. That began with Desmond Mackenzie, Mayor Desmond Mackenzie, who succeeded Mary Atkins. As usual, which is normal for the KSMC, vendors can go anywhere, go set up stall and display them wares anywhere, because are poor people, and poor people supposed to break law and go wherever they want to go. And it reached a stage where they start selling jelly coconut and yam and something and all kind of, from icing to gizzard and everything, and start putting up little stalls all around Mandela. And as time went on, it became a free-for-all. Everybody just got set up a stall, and every time police move them, they just come right back. And it was really an eyesore. One time they moved them and there was a big demonstration. And the demonstration was about government to fight against poor people. Poor people have picnic for send go to school, and with no money, and government no wants the poor people to live. In other words, the excuse for mucking up the national pride, the nation's capital, was mere poor people. Therefore, I supposed to do the brown stuff and get away with it, because that is poor people's privilege. And they wear that poor people badge like with that to them is a badge of honor. Anyway, instead of finding somewhere downtown or around town or somewhere and put these people, what Desmond Mackenzie decided to do? He called in Digicel. Asked Digicel to sponsor 53 vending stalls. And then he take those vending stalls and put them up around Mandela Park. 53. In other words, as far as Desmond Mackenzie was concerned, 53 votes was all he wanted and he was willing to sell out the nation's pride and our little Times Square for 53 possible 53 votes. Initially, it was said that the licensing system, each vendor would have an ID card, and each vendor would be required to wear and display identification cards, and vest and aprons with their spot numbers are fixed. And also, part of the rule was that the KSAC would be responsible for the overall management, including technical and logistic support and environment measures to ensure continuity and sustainability and so on. I have never seen anybody out there with an ID, and chances are most of the people who originally had those stalls have gone to their graves, and none of them now have no ID. As a matter of fact, I hear that some of those stalls are being rented by extortionists who run out the original people out of them stalls, take it over and rent it. I'm quite sure that if the KSAMC went out there and did an audit of who owns which stall, as a matter of fact, some of these stalls are locked up for up to 2 weeks at a time, 3 weeks at a time, and are open haphazardly. Now, this video, I have some PNP and some labor rights councillors that I know personally, very good friends of mine, and I'm going to send it to these two comrades and these two labor rights councillors. Me I send it to them phone number, and me I going to tell them, say, for bring this up in the council meeting. And you see, if I don't hear anything more about this, I'm going to come back on my channel and I'm going to tell everybody the names of the people when me hand them to and ask 10 them to go do something about it. Because that's how we are going to know. Because remember saying, Mary Atkins was big comrade, and she helped soak up the thing. And comrades should feel a sense of shame. Desmond Mackenzie was a big labor right, and him put the people there. Me can't understand how him could be a Siaga person, grew up under Edward Siaga, and it was under Edward Siaga that fountain had been set up, and he didn't try to revive it, and him got it and the worst. It's hard to believe that he was a protege of Edward Siaga. No man, blinds never teach him so. But if you're chaka, you're chaka, you can't learn nothing from nobody. You're just who you are. So all I'm saying, guys, watch this space. This nastiness have got to stop. And I want you guys to watch this space, because me, I go keep on abreast of what has been happening, and I'm going to keep in touch with these councillors that I know, and me friend them, and if them don't act, me I go call them out and tell the world, say them now do nothing. Alright? So, because me not afraid of nobody, and it's Jamaica I am looking out for, not no individual persons, whether I'm wear orange shirt, green shirt, blue shirt, or no shirt at all. It's about Jamaica for me. Guys, like, share, leave a comment below, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.